Newly released surveillance video showing a Cass County gas station customer firing 7 shots at a suspected armed robber, all while holding a 6-pack of light beer.
The shooting seriously injured the suspect, who had armed himself with a box cutter.
Now, the customer waiting to learn if he'll face criminal charges.
You know this guy doesn't drink Bud Light. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there will be a link in the description box. And if you like my channel, like my content and what I do here, you can subscribe to me and also donate through the link in the description box. Everything is appreciated, but let's talk about this. Now, this was out of Southwest Michigan, a town of Cassopolis. And just to the story, a 2-time convicted felon walked into the store, threatened the clerk with a box cutter. A customer walked in, just obviously shopping, saw what was going on, drew his gun, and fired and basically struck the assailant several times. Waited for the police to come and held him at gunpoint. Now, the fact that they even, as you heard in the opening video, that they're even throwing around the notion of charges against the customer shows you exactly what is wrong with this society. Here we have a 2-time convicted felon, which is a common theme in all of these stories. And here we have just a guy out and about, just getting his little groove on, getting himself some beer, go chill. And he steps in and protects another human being, and they're talking about charges. Now, you saw a little bit of the video, but I want to go ahead and play the rest, give you some context.
You know why I'm here is how the robber announced himself at the Stone Lake Marathon here in Cassopolis about 3 weeks ago. The video shows the customer holding a 6-pack of Miller Lite as the suspect, dressed in black, bursts in on July 27th. The suspect, identified as a 35-year-old Dowagiac man, pulls a mask over his face. Another angle shows the suspect approaching the store clerk. Police say he threatened the clerk with a box cutter. The customer, who has a valid concealed carry permit, told police he could not see what was in the robber's hand, but he could see the look of fear in the clerk's face. Video shows the customer pulling a handgun and firing 3 shots, then another 3, all while holding that 6-pack. It appears one of those shots hit a liquor bottle. He fired the final shot several seconds later. Bullets struck the robber in the arm, the back, and the face. The customer told police the suspect fell to the floor but was crawling toward him. He held him at gunpoint until police got there. Cass County Prosecutor Victor Fitz says he's waiting for police to finish the investigation before deciding whether to file criminal charges against the customer. Obviously, there are some people who would consider the shooter a hero.
Well, in Michigan, obviously, it's clear that we do have defense of others as part of the law in Michigan, that you can defend others if they're in a situation where there's dangerous force being used against them. And certainly in this case, we'll be looking at the facts in regard to that.
Target 8 reached out to the man who fired those shots, who lives about 4 blocks from the gas station, but he declined to comment. The victim of the robbery wouldn't go on camera, but said, quote, "He saved my life." The suspect was released from the hospital yesterday and arraigned here in Cass County on 3 charges, including armed robbery. Because he's a 3-time convicted felon, he could face up to life in prison.
Heard that and you saw that. Like I said, now, I don't think they're going to bring any charges against the guy. This is just my opinion. I don't see where they can bring charges against the guy. The clerk said it. He saved my life. Yeah, this guy was under threat of deadly force being used against him by a 2-time convicted felon who was going to be a 3-time convicted felon. This guy did what had to be done. And now, beyond the humor, the fact that he never put the beer down, which I think is hysterical. It's just unfortunate that we have to have this conversation about good people being dragged into the legal system because they make a judgment call and they allow the criminals to basically run the streets and leave people defenseless against them. There's a lot of problems here. This guy did what he had to do, and I have no problem with it. But I'm gonna jump in here real quick, and we're just gonna brief this. But video shows the moment hero customer guns down robber while holding a 6-pack of Miller Lite beer. A wild video shows the moment a convenience store customer shot a robber while holding a 6-pack of beer. Video was released this week of the attempted robbery of a gas station convenience store in the town of Cassopolis in southwest Michigan. Surveillance video shows a man dressed in black with a black face mask enter the Stone Lake Marathon Mini Mart on July 27th. Police said the suspect announced himself to the clerk by saying, "You know why I'm here." A customer appeared to be going to the register with a 6-pack of Miller Lite just as the suspect went behind the counter to reportedly threaten the store clerk. Convenience store employee puts his hands up as the suspect allegedly threatened him. At the same time, the customer calmly took out his gun and shot the would-be robber while was holding the 6-pack of Miller Lite beer. The customer, who has a valid concealed carry permit, fired 3 shots, moved to the side of the counter and shot 3 more times. Then he fired the 7th shot at the suspected thief. The customer reportedly shot the suspect in the arm, back, and face. Good shooting. The alleged robber fell to the ground, and at that time, the customer ran to his car to get another magazine for his gun. The armed customer held the suspect at gunpoint until the police arrived at the scene. So he only had 7 shots in his gun, probably a .380. I don't know, there's a number of firearms I can think of. Yeah, definitely could be in a .380, LCP, Celtic P380, something like that. 7 shots, But the suspected thief did not have a gun during the robbery, but threatened the clerk with a box cutter, according to police. The armed customer purportedly told police he couldn't see what weapon was in the robber's hands. I don't think that's relevant. There's a threat there, and he's using something for that threat. A box cutter can kill you just as quickly as anything else. But you can see the look of fear on the clerk's face. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and come out of that. Now, you heard on the video, once again, this guy is sitting around waiting to see if he's ever going to be charged with anything. I don't think so. I think public outcry is going to definitely put a damper on that right away. Definitely. But the fact that even contemplating, even the talk of charges is the problem. This guy hands should be shook. He should get a pat on the back. They should resupply him with the ammo that he used and send him on his way, and that's the end of it. But once again, once we get past the humor of the fact that he never put the 6-pack of beer down, I think that this would be a great commercial for some beer company. Like I said in the opening, just show the video and go, he doesn't drink Bud Light. But kudos once again. And this is one of those stories that the mainstream media probably won't even touch, other than the fact that it had the beer aspect in it, that he, was carrying the beer the whole time. Maybe they'll touch on it. But beyond that, good guy with a gun stops a criminal, a longtime criminal, from harming another human being. That does not fit the narrative, so they're going to drop it. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.